days. And so a question for you, and this kind of I don't know, this brings up your new change in your channel, and I don't know, is keeping the name Anarchast?
Keeping the name Anarchast. It's
You
a
are
great name.
okay, good. I agree.
It's better than my last channel's name, Disenthrall, which, you know, meant to unenthrall people, which is what I see their superstition in the just authority of the government as being. I think they're enthralled from birth into believing that stuff. And so I love that name. Is part of who I am and part of what I worked for years. But man, Anarchast, I mean, it's perfect.
Yeah, that's a good name.
Yeah.
Um, and so do I understand correctly that one of the things, like as you know, I'm a fan and I watch a lot of your stuff on Disenthrall and have talked to you a good bit. And it seems like you are way more based on facts and evidence and like not what wacko, wild, crazy conspiracy stuff or alternative medicines or crystal energy, auras, sexual healing stuff. And like, and that's, you know, that's kind of a lot of the stuff that Jeff did. And is that the big change, that you're just going to be more of like your nerdy geeky thing that you did on Disenthrall, or what's the plan?
So there are different types of people in the world, and one of the cool things that I learned from going to Anarchapulco several years in a row was that I got to give people space to believe things that I don't believe and to be weird people because they think I'm weird in some ways. And you know, that's kind of fundamental to liberty itself. Like the whole point is to let other people behave in ways that don't hurt anybody, but that we don't have to agree with. I don't need to get a say. We don't have to be friends, and that's fine. Um, but as long as we leave each other alone and give each other that space, I once I got rid of the notion that like I have to worry about what my neighbors think about what I'm doing, and that I have to worry about what my neighbors think and are doing because my neighbors have a vote to literally control my life at gunpoint. Once you get rid of that pressure, as you can with liberty lovers, even if they are what I would consider the weird ones, once you get rid of that pressure about worrying what they think, there's a lot more room to just live and let live. And so I don't have to agree. I don't have to think crystal butt plugs will actually, you know, cure cancer or any of that stuff. Yes. So to answer the first part of your question, yes, I'm very focused on reason and evidence and being skeptical of the things that I believe because that's what led me to liberty. Like I would still be a Republican if I just went with what felt right and didn't question my beliefs. And if I just questioned my beliefs based on who I was friends with, like all my friends became anarchists, so I'm going to go along with them. I mean, that's dangerous because my friends could also become commies, and then what would happen to me? Sorry. Um, so you got to have standards for reason and evidence, and you have to learn how to think. They don't teach it to you, and it's not something you can just know how to do by default. And so I went down that path, and that led me to liberty. And so yes, I'm very focused on that, and I will continue to be. And that makes me skeptical of things on both sides. It makes me skeptical of the conspiracy theory that government has just authority. It made me skeptical of the conspiracy conjecture for jet fuel can't melt steel beams. You know, I question everything with boldness, and I demand things meet my standards for reason and evidence. And you know, like if I'm rambling, tell me to shut up. But like
No, you're good. You're
when
good.
I first when I first started Anarchast, uh, I knew and I realized that it has a different audience than the one that I'm building over here on my other channel, being who I am and attempting to put out the kind of content that I would be interested in. And so I tried to like dial myself down in some of those original shows, and that made me unhappy. It made the content suck. It made the I mean I can't be a better Jeff than Jeff. And so it's just like now the audience is getting a watered down, weird, semi-rational attempt to be Jeff. That's just stupid. It's dumb and stupid. And so that led me to just not make as much content, and I would go back over to Disenthrall my home and be myself again. And so that ended up leaving Anarchast withering and Disenthrall succeeding because I was being myself. And so yeah, yeah,
Okay.
I got tired of that. A good friend said that I was being dumb, and so I stopped being dumb, and now I will be myself, and I will do what I do best on Anarchast. and people might not like that, but they weren't liking what I was doing before, and I can't really care. I have to do what I do best as I can, and what will be will be.
There you go. I like it.